Hi everyone, and welcome once again. I hope you guys enjoyed my Christmas special video last week. And in that video I told you guys that I was telling my story, and at 57 my story is quite long. So of course with sharing this, each video you'll get a little bit of me. Those who know me personally know that I am a workaholic, and I've been fortunate enough that I found work that I love and I enjoy. And there is a little saying, love what you do and do what you love. Oh, all you guys out there, do find what you love doing in life and be able to make a living at it. So today I wanted to thank YouTube for helping me become a flower farmer. So back 6 years ago, I bought an old house that was 112 years old, and I tore down that house, and when I did, all the landscaping got destroyed because the heavy equipment excavator and stuff came in and flattened it, and then they had to dig out for crawl space. So that put me on ground level with landscaping and having a garden. So I had a blank slate with just rocks and gravel. Then, so after having the house built, we were in this house, I believe it was a year or two, and I decided to switch over my internet and TV provider from Bell to Rogers. So with Rogers, you can watch YouTube on your TV. So I was in the process of rebuilding my garden, and as I was rebuilding it, I started watching YouTube videos on gardening. So I did have some footprint to start with. The lady that had this land before I bought it, well, actually this house was owned by the same family for over 100 years, and there's a sweet cherry tree on there. Delicious cherries. Then there was a tart cherry. There was 2 rhododendrons. One was a purple, and I'll put pictures up, and a white one was a white bridal spirea, and some black currant and some red currants and some rhubarb, which now saved those seeds, and we've called those seeds Sweet Betty seeds in honor of the lady that lived there before I bought the house. So back to YouTube. So as I was building this land, this yard here in Grand Falls, I went on YouTube and I started learning, watching different people and different channels about gardening. So today I want to share with you guys what I've learned on YouTube. No, I'm not going to go and name everyone, and I'm just going to tell you about a few that was really strong points in building my interests, and how YouTube, by providing this service, had helped me grow my skills as a gardener. I recently did do a video, which I'll release now in the next couple weeks, how much work it is to creating a YouTube and the frustrations of it. But today I want to give a shout out to YouTube, because you know what I mean, they did educate me, and yes, there's 2 sides of that story. They educated me and taught me a lot of things, but it also creates lots more work for me to build this channel. I hope now you guys will hit that subscribe button and watch me become a better YouTuber and a better gardener, and we can all grow together. So the first person that I really sticks out in my mind for YouTube gardening channels, and this lady, her name is Jess, and Jess's husband, his grandmother is originally from Newfoundland, but they live in the States. So Jess's channel is called Roots and Refuge. So Jess mostly grows vegetables, so she can give you a lot of knowledge on different skills as a vegetable grower, which at the farm we do have a kitchen garden. So if anybody out there that's interested in growing vegetables and would like to volunteer, I have a space dedicated to that. Jess gave me, and I guess many other people, lots of voice. So Jess, her voice was turn your waiting room into a classroom. So as I was learning and redeveloping my home garden, I knew that I wanted to become a flower farmer and eventually have a farm. So while I was waiting, because it took me many years to search to find the right piece of land, because I was on a budget and I wanted a certain size, which I wanted around 3 to 4 acres, and which I got 4 acres. So I turned my home garden into a waiting room and learned as much as I could, and especially when I first started out, because I was just buying topsoil, and I didn't know until I talked to my provider that topsoil is just peat moss and sand, which of course everybody knows there's no nutrients. So the first couple of years I had very, very poor success. But once I learned that I needed to add nutrients, I had to mend my soil, it just took off. And I just started growing things like it was crazy. But I still always struggle with vegetables, but hopefully we're gonna conquer that now in the next year or so. So thanks, Jess from Roots and Refuge, for the voice of turning my waiting room into a classroom. Then there was Justin Rose, and Justin's got another platform called Abundance Plus, but you can find him under his name, Justin Rhodes, and it's Rhodes. And Justin's is a homesteader, which if anybody's into the homesteading and growing vegetables and stuff, that you can learn a lot from Justin. So Justin's words were, if you want something bad enough, you will make it happen. Well, I wanted my farm really bad, so I never gave up. I just kept looking and looking for that right piece of land that I could afford and build my dream of becoming a flower farmer. So thank you, Justin, for that advice. So as I was watching all these channels, I knew my peak interest was in the cut flower industry. So I did watch several channels, and there was a few that really stuck out. So one was called Can't Eat the Grass, and this channel now is fallen to the wayside. Unfortunately, some circumstances in that couple's life, so they're no longer together, and it seems like both of them now are struggling. Hopefully they can both find themselves back on the right path, and because they're great people and great knowledge. But if you went back and watched some of their old videos when they were together as a couple, and they show how they built their flower farm, their cut flower farm from scratch, it was very interesting to watch that over the years. So I learned a lot about like the different types of flowers and stuff and making bouquets. So it was very informative. There was another lady, it's called Flower Hill Farm. So Nicole, and her husband's name is Brad Pitt, but not the actor Brad Pitt. So Nicole was fortunate enough, she grew up on a piece of property that was 20 acres. So her parents had divorced, and she, as an adult, was able to, her and her husband was able to acquire this property back. So she started Flower Hill Farm. And then I think it was probably within the last 3 years, she actually bought a nursery business, and was an older business. Sometimes I often wonder if she was better off starting from scratch, but she took on this adventure of this rundown nursery now, and she's been rebuilding that. So I've learned lots from Nicole. Unfortunately, Nicole is facing some health issues right now, so hopefully she can beat all that and start fresh now in the new year. So Nicole, looking forward to watching your upcoming videos. There's a guy, his name is Luke, and he has a channel called Am I Gardener? Luke is a wealth of knowledge. He's recently bought a farm, but he also owns a seed company, and he used to be doing his gardening in his home backyard, but now he's acquired a huge piece of land, and he's went out and searched all these unique apple trees. So he's got a orchard there, and he's got on his farm now, he's got a seed saving sections for different types of seeds. So if you're looking for someone that really knows their stuff, that's well-rounded, Luke is a great fellow to follow. So M.I. Gardener. And the next one is a lady, and her name is Anne, and her channel is called Anne of All Trades. So Anne, like everyone out there, we are humans. And Anne recently, she had a child. I think it was 12 years they've struggled to have a child with miscarriages and lots of struggles. But like I said, we are all human, and we share our stories on YouTube. So with Anne, her garden is just great too. She's got so much knowledge, and she focuses on being a lazy gardener. So if you're lazy but you love gardening, you can learn a lot of advice, and especially all about this mulch, which I'm getting more into, and especially having that bigger piece of property now. Don't know how much volunteers that I'm going to get, but hopefully now with the mulch, it's going to keep down the weeds and help keep the moisture into my beds, so I don't have to water as much. But yeah, so Anne of All Trades is another great channel to be watching. So today's shout out, like I say, is to YouTube. And thank you so much for providing all this knowledge and information. Not thank you about all the difficulties getting there, get subscribed. And back to this monetization. So it takes 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours, and so much more. And I do go into this in this other video that you have to follow through to. So hopefully one of these days, I'm not looking to get rich on YouTube. I am not looking for a full-time income on YouTube. What I'm looking for is to get monetized so I can start putting those funds back into the farm. Like, I have a lot of followers that are seniors, so I want to be buying picnic tables so you guys can all come and picnics with your family. I want to be buying benches, so if you're walking the gardens and you're tired and you just want to sit and enjoy the flowers, that would be great. Building some outhouses. I want to build some kiosk stations because I'm getting into agritourism, so I want to promote our Newfoundland culture. So I'm going to need some of those down the road. As for my building that I'm building this spring, me and my old man have discussed that, and we're going to do that together. So that project, let's say, will be taken on. But if, let's say, I can get monetized, so those things of improving the landscaping and the setting of the farm, that would be great. So thanks again, and thanks YouTube. Take care. Love you all.